Evening, gentlemen. How are we?
Buzzing.
Absolutely over the moon.
We were the champions of August, the champions of September, and it looks like we're going to be the champions of October as well. 3 in a row, boys. 3 in a row. Here we fucking go. What should we chuck on the park if we don't make it 4 in a row? Should we start protesting that our board have fucked up? We've only finished top 3 out of the last 4 months of the year. 13 titles at the last 14. Anything else? What's enough to make you chuck sharks at the board?
I've done a bit chucked. Oh, on you go.
I'm hoping we're chucking bed sheets at some point, but these podcasts have been far too positive. It's like, man.
My bed sheets have never been cleaner. Honestly, man, I'm going to have to start selling them. I've been trying to message Celtic guys, being like, mate, you want a few bed sheets?
Mad thing is, my bed sheets have never been dirtier, man. I'm just constant hard on, like.
Wow. All right. Yeah.
First 2 minutes of the pod, and Tam's went on that route. Oh, Jesus.
You've been out drinking today, Tam?
Yeah, he's got a can of tenants there. He's on the tenants. He's having this is a stag do. He's having the time of his life.
What a day.
If we're going to chuck anything on the park, it should be a throwback. So can we chuck on Brads or Shanks or something like that? Just throw them onto the park. That'd be a good laugh.
No.
That was it. No.
Right. Well, we're live on YouTube, so as always, get your questions in. We'll talk all things Hearts. We'll review, look back at Heart Midlothian 3 Kilmarnock 0 yesterday. Reflect on today's results. Celtic lost 2-0 to Dundee, which maintained our 5-point gap going into the game next Sunday. We'll talk about next Sunday's game, and then a whole load of shite in between. Sound good, boys?
Class.
Sure does.
Perfect.
Tam, what's been happening other than wanking into your sheets? Absolutely revolting, to mate. You live with your ma. You making her clean your sheets. That's embarrassing, man.
Mad thing is, she puts them in the washing line and they're just like horizontal, like.
A1 sheets of paper.
A massive pizza box.
No much has been happening, man. International football, Scotland are class, so we can talk about that if you just want.
Right, cut that out. Kev, what's been happening?
Not a great deal, mate. I just live for the weekends now, mate. That's all I do. Just live for the weekends and Gorgie rules.
Exactly. That's all that needs to be said, Kev. Ando, what's been happening?
Been away with work, causing international incidents, and loaded with the man flu. So, but could I give a shit about any of that? Gorgie rules. Carry on.
Because the Hearts are absolutely flying. Right. Well, have we got any news on anything, Kev?
I guess there's not been a great deal. There is, of course, our international superstar striker that can't even play for the team. Went away to the Middle Africa and scored a hat-trick inside, 20 minutes or something like that for Burkina Faso, which I know a lot of people were putting it down, given the fact it's against Ethiopia. But if that was Shanks scoring a hat-trick inside 20 minutes against Liechtenstein, everybody would be going absolutely after tits about it. So, yeah, there was that. The Aberdeen game was due to be the 22nd of November. It's now been moved to the 23rd of November. Still with a 3 o'clock kickoff live on TV. As you back in training, full training, I believe, this week, with potential for a space on the bench for Sunday's game. And the hat-trick of awards all went to Tynecastle as well for this month, where McInnes getting Manager of the Month, Shankland with Player of the Month, and Kazaridis with Goal of the Month. So we've effectively just won everything.
We're winning everything, mate. That's just what we do. And I like that McInnes has completely buried the whole Manager of the Month curse as well. Like, remember, we used to win the Manager of the Month and then immediately lose every single game. But we even won the Manager of the Month and then went immediately to Ibrox and won, which actually doesn't seem that big an achievement right now. They're absolute rotten, man.
We do need to touch on that. Who is going to be the next manager of Rangers Football Club?
Who knows, man?
I'm sure Corbett's got his hat in at some point.
Nah, no chance. I'm too good looking for that job, man.
Just get to wee Barry and save the embarrassment. Like, that's what it's going to be.
Who was the boy that was in charge yesterday? Was it Stevie Smith?
Stevie Smith, aye.
He looks like his ma put fags out on his face. Like, he looks like an absolute rat of a boy. He looks like he's been using an ashtray his whole life. Just give him the job. He fits in perfectly in Govan. You got 8 teeth and 3 of them on his. Disgusting. It's quite fun. Well, we'll start there because the euphoria of the fact that we're top of the league is obviously fun. We're 5 points in front of Celtic. But if anybody, Tam, at the start of the season had said, that would finish second, you'd bite their hand off. It looks like it's going to be capitulation stations, really. What, we 13 points in front?
Yeah, 13.
So good research, boys. Just remember that we're on a Hearts podcast, so
sorry, five in front of
glance down past number 1 on the league table every now and again, and just see where some people are. I know it's great seeing us there, but just have a wee look every now and again.
5 in front of Celtic at least. But you're right. To be honest, I know it's early in the Tony Bloom ownership involvement, whatever it is at this point, but for me right now, there's no better chance for either anyone outside of the Glasgow 2 to win the league. And it scares me because I don't think we're ready for it just yet. But surely if there's a chance, second at least is definitely going to be a
let's
proper
be honest,
one.
There's no one else like what we are 5 points in front of Celtic.
11
Celtic
in front
are
of
6 points in front of Hibs. So there's no other team in the title race, Tam. It's literally us. It's us.
Aye, but I'm just trying to play it down, Corbett. I'm really scared how exciting this is, and my sheets are already rigid. I'm scared.
Well, I think we're at a point now where we lose on Sunday, we still be 2 points in front.
Yeah.
I think they then have League Cup duty when we have a game where we play a game, we'll get a game in hand on them. I think is it replacing? No, there is a whole fixture midweek games, isn't there?
Yeah. Wednesday, last weekend, midweek in October.
But then I'm sure the weekend that we play Dundee, I think that they don't have a game that weekend because I think they're playing in the League Cup semi-final, aren't they?
Yeah, they play Rangers that weekend.
And then it's the international break. It's the international break again for 2 weeks. So, if we can't believe now, like, I know it's 8 games in, but the manager, like, with 3 games in a row now, we've played the same starting 11.
Mm-hmm.
The boys that come on are having an impact, making an impact. The guys that we all could have came on yesterday would have made no difference because we were absolutely light years in front of Kilmarnock yesterday. But the boys that come on still make a difference. A manager that knows the league inside out gets it right 9 times out of 10. Like, if we're going to win a league, this is the season to do it. They're a mess. Celtic will implode this week. It will be ridiculous because they've got Europe midweek. They're away from home in Europe in midweek, aren't they?
No.
At home to Sturm Graz.
Yeah.
To who?
Sturm Graz.
Sturm Graz.
Sturm Graz. Right. Well saved.
Is they know the team that just beat Rangers?
Yep.
Well, the fans are protesting. Again, should we maybe actually do like a GoFundMe or something for them? Like, we have to stop a minute and think. They have only won 23 out of the last 24 trophies. Like, it must be unbearable. It must be so hard for them. We should maybe do a GoFundMe. Let's think about it. Answers in the comments on YouTube if you think we should start a GoFundMe for Celtic, because they must be it must be so hard to be a Celtic fan right now.
It'll be even worse when Brenda moves to go and be manager of Nottingham Forest as well.
The thing I'm loving the most about all this is that he's got complete and utter bypassed for the blame, but yet his team are shocking.
Yeah,
his team's absolutely shocking. Now, fair enough, they can be upset about lack of transfer funds and all that stuff, but that Celtic side was still £25 million to assemble. They can't
Right.
even. They look like we're ever going to score against.
And that's
Dundee.
the ones that are still there. Like was it not him that wanted Ida back on a permanent and then booted him out and they've sold him, and then he was the one that bought Engels as well. So,
Yep.
aye, brilliant.
Long may it continue. I think that next weekend, obviously our own game aside, Kev, is pivotal because it's Hibs and Aberdeen and it's Rangers and Killie. So basically everybody that's behind us in the league plays each other.
And if you've got a couple of draws in those games, would be even better. You know, out with what our game, or the result is in our game. Draws in that game would be absolutely fantastic.
Aye. But I had a wee chuckle to myself earlier when I was looking down the table because Motherwell are like 2 points off bottom of the league. Motherwell have been like Real Madrid. Everybody has been filling their sheets with Motherwell. And I said to my mate on day one of the season, I was like, mate, you can't play football like this in Scotland, mate. You won't win any matches. And he was like, rah, 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 rah. They've won one game all season. We won one game all season, just got beat off a team that we absolutely bitch slapped. Made me chuckle. That actually brings me on to, I loved Derek McInnes's comments after the game yesterday where he said that folk are absolutely desperate for us to fail. I was like, I like a bit of that at the club. I like a bit of that circle the wagons, the world is against us. You've got everybody wants you to fail. Use that as your motivation, which I actually really like. And Kev, you were at the game yesterday. Maybe you can confirm or deny whether or not I'm going crazy. But about 15 minutes in, we'd started really sloppily, gave the ball away, couldn't really get out. Kingsley had a bit where he could have cleared it, never. They get a corner. I think they go back-to-back corners. It was the bit where Shankland was going absolutely raging at every single person. But when that ball went out for a corner, there was booing in the Hearts end.
Maybe your end. I was.
Where were you, Kev? What side?
I was at the main stand side. So that upper section next to the Killie main stand. I wouldn't say there was booing at my end, but you could sense that a lot of fans were apprehensive as such around the opening 10, 15 minutes of play. Because, as you rightly say, there was a lot of sloppiness in that first quarter of the match. And from that point of view, I think some people expected it to be maybe a tougher game than it eventually worked out to be.
But it was stop-start at the start because they were just punting the ball forward to Kevin James. How tall is that guy? He was actually
ridiculous.
Gigantic.
He was, and how shite at football is he?
Well, that was the problem. His brain was so far away from his feet that he couldn't actually operate.
Launching the ball up to him, and he won every single header, and then didn't know what to do. It was class. But there was definitely, maybe booing's a strong word. I'm sure I'm stone cold sober, but I was section 10, row 2, or whatever it was. It sounded like people were getting angry, booing at that, and then 3 minutes later we scored. So I think that the Derek McInnes stuff is right. I like that. I still feel that there's an element of Hearts fans that are sitting waiting for a bad spell, so that they can have a pop because he's not the sexy named manager that we wanted, but that has to be the minority now, surely. Like we can't. This is George Burley-esque where we're at right now. So that was fun. So what are you thinking, Tam? Are you saying we're definitely going to finish second? Is that what you said?
I didn't say definitely, but
I'd
put us currently as odds-on favourite for second. But I'm still scared to predict that we might win the league. Put it that way.
Tam, we could be 10 points ahead of anybody else with only 9 points available, and you still will be in that boat of we might still fuck this up.
But I'm the happy clapper of the pod, apparently. So where does that put me?
Start acting like it.
Well, mate, at 84 minutes, I was still I had my hood up and my hands in my head yesterday.
Exactly.
Oh my God! Like, please, they just get one goal here. This could be catastrophic if they come back and get a draw. So But I'm like, all jokes aside, we all would have taken second. Absolutely, like, in a heartbeat, 100%. We're now looking at, mathematically, we'd have to lose 5 games. Rangers would have to string together fucking 5 wins. But they got one win all season. Is that right?
Against Libby.
I was unlucky for you, Cam, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like, we're now looking at a situation where Hearts will lose games 100%. Like that's going to happen. But this is the myth that needs to get put to bed now for any interlopers watching, anybody or whatever. I can't guarantee you what will happen in the league, except for I can guarantee you Hearts will not do what Aberdeen done last year. Like all the combinations of things that might happen, this Hearts team with this manager, this group of players will not go from the end of October to the start of April and win only one match. That won't happen. Will we have enough in us to sustain and go all the way and win a title? I don't know. I don't know.
It depends on a lot, though. If
Yeah,
injuries, going through the cold weather season, all that sort of good stuff. We need luck to be on our side when it comes to that sort of stuff. But again, you only worry about the things that you can control. And we can't control that.
It's such a lazy comparison, though. Like,
I know, it's shite bag stuff.
It's Dema Heathen. Every time you see it, you're just like, oh, but Aberdeen capitulated last season. And you're like, well, look at it comparatively. It's no the same. Anyway.
Well, even now, when people are talking about it, they're still reluctant to say that Hearts are firm favourites to finish second, at least. Like, they still have Rangers in the equation. And it's like, Rangers will be lucky to stay in the top 6 as it stands right now. The manager that they thought was coming in said no. The next manager has said no. They now have a European game and then another game at the weekend without a manager coming in. So even if they do get a manager today, tomorrow, or the next day, he's going to have two training sessions before they play again in the league. If that, he's not going to be able to change anything. So I think that we're in a position now where, and Kev made a good point earlier, that's the thing that people probably outside of Hearts aren't seeing, is that Kabori doesn't come on yesterday. Carjota doesn't come on yesterday. Magnussen's on the bench, can't get game time. Then you look at the Premier League jobbers, if you want to call them. Alan Forrest can still come on and do a job for us. Blair Spittle can still come on and do what needs to be done. We've got Aju not even playing. We've got Borkovic that you have to, by the fact that everybody else has been a hit, he's going to have something about him. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to have to come in and play. So I think.
And you've got Chesnikov coming in January as well.
Chesnikov going to come in too.
And who else?
Aye, exactly. Who else? And you look, the counter to that is that we're going to have some serious interest in January for Braga and Kizaridis, because they're phenomenal. Braga will get all the headlines because his second goal is phenomenal. I don't know what's going on at football, because I was the same. I told everybody that Cammy Devlin scored in the derby, and I thought he absolutely made a Ricky Hunt via the keeper, and the keeper had it off him and it went in. And then I watched it back, he's absolutely done the keeper, a belter. I was like, oh my God, that's unreal.
I know we're going to talk about the goal, but I still don't understand how that goes in, though. He's jumping over it and he's chipping it over the keeper at the same time. I don't get it.
He's just
phenomenal. He rolls it from his right foot to his left foot and then puts it in and then jumps the keeper.
Aye.
All in one go. Exactly, Kev. I didn't think that. Never mind, see it.
When I was, because the keeper had slid, it looked like the keeper had hit the ball. He'd shot, it hit off the keeper, hit back off him and went in. And then I watched it back, and it's an unbelievable bit of skill. Does the keeper brilliantly. But
so I was gonna save this for when Tam went for a piss. But Braga, that's now 8 goals in 13 games, right? So this is one for everybody on YouTube. There are 6 players in the modern era who have managed to get to 8 goals faster than Claudio Braga. Who are they? Right? So question in the YouTube. Rudy
right.
is. Well,
Sorry, I thought I didn't mean it. Right, sorry, YouTube. There you go. I just gave you one.
but you're right.
My
Rudy
heart's
is.
Rain Man kicked in. I was like,
This is why I didn't ask you, because we'd just be sitting listening for 10 minutes for you listening at six players.
sorry. Braga will get the plaudits, but Kizaridis is unbelievable. He's the best player in that team by a country mile. Every single time he gets the ball, he faces the opposition goal, the opposition defender, and takes him on. Every single time. Like, it doesn't matter where he is. There were times in the first half where, like, they were winning headers and he was bringing the ball out for the sky and his touch had him facing the goal again. Like, at no point in his makeup was it take a touch and pass it back or whatever. He literally was bringing it down and was facing up the defender immediately again. And it's like, it's so refreshing. I think Wanjo, probably one of the last players I remember that was that inclined to go forward every single time he got the ball. Every time Wanjo got the ball, took his man on, tried a skill, tried something different. Kizaridis is the exact same, and he's phenomenal. Like, and it doesn't matter that he's right-footed. It doesn't matter. You can everything he does tells you I'm cutting in on my right foot. Players cannot get near him, and that spell, Kev. See that bit, Kev, where we scored. Braga scores the first, and we score the second. See that? There was about a 10-minute, 15-minute spell there where everything that Kizaridis done was phenomenal. They could not get near him.
Yeah, I was right, by the way. It would be 3 minutes before Tam would go for a tan. Aye, but no, he's the bit right at the beginning. So the boy doesn't control the ball. Kizaridis just had a wee dink over the boy, and then straight away he's onto it. And when he came off yesterday, our creativity went straight downhill. So that in itself shows, tells you exactly what you've just said. Every single time he gets the ball, he is positive. Something we have not had for seasons, years. And Wanjo might be the last one, and that was what 90. Was that 99, 2000?
Miko and Chesney were a bit like that as well, but they were lightweight and brushed off the ball. He's rock solid. Like, you cannot get him off. Can't get him off the ball. Again, just one of those things that folk will be buzzing off Braga, and rightly so, because he's the front three. Shankland, Kizaridis, and Braga are an absolute nuisance. I was watching a Celtic game today thinking, if we can just get at them, that opening 10-15 minutes, like Tony Ralston, the other guy at the back that's really good going forward but terrible at defending, Carter Vickers, Liam Scales, they'll hate playing against Braga. They'll hate it because he is a nuisance. He does not stop running. And Kizaridis and Shankland had an off game yesterday. It was by nowhere near his best game, but the amount of selfless running that he does. Shankland's positioning for both the goals speaks volumes. Braga runs through the middle of their defence, no one on him because of where Shankland is, because they don't know what to do. They don't know whether they should go to the ball, should they go to Shankland. They didn't know where to go, and Braga just waltzes through the middle and scores. So Kizaridis, the front three are phenomenal. If we can keep them fit, we'll be in for.
Well, you say that you keep them fit. You don't, we don't really need to keep them fit because, as you've already said, you've got Kabori, you've got Karjota, Chesnikov is coming in January. I mean, that's another front line. Yes, I appreciate we don't know what they're capable of. We've not seen enough of them to give that they are an adequate backup. But you've got numbers and you've got what appears to be quality. So who's to say it's a bad thing,
The biggest thing is what I just took from what you both said though is, like, compared to like previous seasons where we're relying on Shankland, we're relying on other strikers. We're like, somebody can have an off game, but we've got these people to just step up, and they're all match winners in their own right, and it's class.
Remember the days we used to have to wait for like somebody like Gary Mackay-Steven to come off the bench?
Wow, I'm in a good mood, Kev. Why try that? Why are you bringing him up?
I just sometimes feel like you've just got to bring you back down to earth with a bit of a bump, mate.
Do we have anything on YouTube? Any comments? Any questions?
Aye, Hunters, but everyone's just asking questions. Putting names forward for the questions that I posed earlier on. Actually, nothing to do with what we're speaking about.
Class.
They've well done to YouTube. There are 2 people left
Somebody
outstanding
get Kev
on
Kyle?
the list. Kev Kyle, unfortunately, didn't. He took 19 games to get to 8 goals, so he's well shy of Claudio Braga. But they got the other ones so far. So Gennaro Zivuk, who done it in 7 games. De
Doesn't
Vries, who
count.
done it in 8 games.
Doesn't
Scatchell
count.
done it in 11. So done it in 12. Braga and Kyle Lafferty both done it on 13. There are 2 outstanding.
Can I give one? Can
Yes.
Killie get 8 goals?
No.
I know he played about 8
No.
games, like, but
And he scored 4 goals, but I think he only played 9 games and never lost one.
Okay.
I think he only scored 4.
Sound.
Zifuk and So don't count because we're playing in the Vida League. I wish
But-
Hearts fans would get over Gennaro Zifuk. He was
It's my question. It's allowed.
Anybody can toe bang for 40 yards into painter and decorators. He never had an ounce of skill in his body. He was battering ram folk. It was like me playing in Ayla's under 9s ladies league. I would have won just because I'm 16 stone. Anyway, why are you so upsetting me with these players? Stop talking about them, man.
Fan engagement, mate. That's what we're
I
doing.
know. Sorry. We're talking about fan engagement. Yesterday, someone came up to me in the pub, asked me for my picture, and I'm pretty sure they thought I was on open goal. Like, and I'm trying to work out what one.
Did you
Because
think you were Slaney?
Wow, mate, that is insulting. Like,
Talking about like
not even funny, like,
ashtray face or whatever. Hopefully,
No,
let's go that.
But did you give them a photo? Have you got them like already in your
Yeah.
inside jacket pocket signed?
mate, I like to keep my fans happy. Innit? If what my fans want and the fans get. That was fun. Right.
Brilliant.
Since we've already sorted out, might as well talk about yesterday's game. Because, Kev, should we start a petition now to only play at 6:45 at night?
Yes.
Mate,
So,
how much
is
better is it?
Aye, it's an interesting one, and I said this to the boys yesterday when we were travelling over. What would you prefer? Would you prefer a 7:45 kickoff on a Friday night or a 5:45 kickoff on a Saturday?
6:45 on a Saturday.
Yeah,
100%.
Yep.
Was so good.
It's not even a
So
question
good.
that a grown person should be asking.
Ah, well.
Yeah. Away
I'm
end
okay.
was brilliant yesterday. Absolutely bouncing. Normally, I've said we've talked about this at length loads. When we start to take increased numbers, day trippers come out. But that's the good point of loyalty point systems is that you're only beefing out the numbers for what it is. So you got 4,000 fans there yesterday that understood the assignment. They understood the part they play and what they're doing. And like I said, I'm section 10, row 2, and I stood for 90 minutes, except for the times where I had my head in my hands and wasn't looking. But for the majority of the game, everybody stood, and that's rare at a Hearts game. It was class. And I like that. Like the manager and the players keep making reference to it. I like that. And one of the stories that I used to love hearing about George Burley in those days was that they used to celebrate on a Friday. They'd go in and tell everybody, by the way, it's a sell it tomorrow, and big up the fact that that's a big thing that folk are desperate to come and see. It's like you've got responsibility, you've got big travelling numbers. The fact that Cammy Devlin talked about the fact that this time last year we played Killie and we were absolute dog shit and we wanted the manager gone and it was all tears and snotters. And now, I was still in Rugby Park about 15 minutes after the game finished yesterday. It was class.
It's a massive, massive thing, though, as you rightly say, to have those kind of numbers following the club. Kilmarnock, as most of us know, it's a shite holy a place, and it's a shite place to get to as well.
Actually, thought it was dead easy.
It is if you've got a car. What I'm getting at is if you're a 5:45 kickoff, most of us, and the majority of folk will be looking for a day out. You've got to get a train from Edinburgh to Glasgow, then a train from Glasgow down to Kilmarnock. Seemingly, there was only one train after the game last night back to Glasgow. So, it's not exactly the easiest place to get to unless you've actually got a car. I believe there was a number of supporters' buses going yesterday as well. But to have those kind of numbers following the club, I can't remember the last time that we took the bottom section and fully sold out for Kilmarnock.
Yeah,
I'd probably go back to those early days.
Aye, that's what I was saying. The first game of the season, with the George Burley days, which was probably the last time I can remember it as well, which was decent. I remember Romanoff was on the pitch and all that as well, like taking pictures of the crowd that day, which was decent. But aye, it was good, and it's good when you have an away end that understands what's needed. A public service announcement to Hearts fans, right? The Hibs song, that's the way was funny last week, right? If we're going to keep doing it, it fits perfect with Craig Halkett. Just sing Craig Halkett. That's the way, Craig Halkett. He scores every week, so we've got a song for him. Like,
we actually had somebody say that exact quote on Twitter yesterday as well. No, you can't call it.
Fits in absolutely perfect. We had 3 different versions of it, and I do enjoy that. What I do like now is the Hearts fans that are showing up that just sing the actual versions of the songs. Like the guys that show up and just sing Radio Gaga. Like the old guy next to me was just singing his heart out, but was not singing any of the Hearts words. Was just singing Radio Gaga. And I was like, battering.
Just loves Queen.
I just love Queen. It. And then everybody else was singing either Hibs Away, which is weird. I don't know why you would sing that. I like it. And then others singing That's the Way, I like it. And me shouting, Craig fucking Halkett! Sing Craig Halkett! Wait, perfect sense. He's just scored. He's just scored. Just say Craig Halkett. But will we have a pause for how good Craig Halkett is? Can we talk what a difference it is?
Can we just call him Golden Boot Halkett from now on? Because like the way he's going, absolutely incredible. Like he absolutely on fire. Can't
He
do a
almost
thing
scored
wrong.
again in the first half. I think they cleared it off the line, didn't they?
Yep.
He's actually done really well for the goal. He's given the boy D's just a wee dink. That boy, he's never going to be. Couldn't jump that laddie, and he's got an open goal really. And it was a solid header. He knew exactly where he was putting it. I've watched it back about 4 or 5 times. It is absolutely on the money.
I love how you say a wee dink. It's not a wee dink. He's properly shoving him, but it's class. It's not. It's never a foul. It's not a foul for that. But
man up, Dees. Was Dees not the same guy that flipping landed on his arse and then Naismith was laughing up at Dens Park?
Did you just say flipping, Kev?
Flipping,
No.
Kev. Your mum is there or something like what we
adults only.
Kev, is he allowed to swear, please? He's on a podcast.
It's an adults only pod. You can say fucking. It's fine.
No, see, watching the Celtic game today, and it's a modern day football thing that I'm sure bugs everybody. Yesterday, Hearts were lining up for corners zonally when we were playing against a guy that was 8'9". I was like, somebody mark the guy that's fucking huge. What are we doing? Like, surely somebody goes, holy fuck, look at the size of him. You know what I mean? Like, you come and go on my shoulders. Like, marking zonally is bananas. And I was watching the Celtic game today and thinking, we'll cause them loads of problems with corners and set plays because, again, they mark zonally. And that's how Halkett scores. That's what it is. Kilmarnock or zonal. These attacks the space, which is what you're taught today when you play zonal. Halkett nudges on, which is like fine, but his task as a defender is to drive into that space and attack and defend that space, not stop Craig Halkett from scoring a header. So that's one of my bugbears about modern football is zonal marking. Man for man at corners is the way to put men on the post as well. Like it's needed, but Craig Halkett I like that he got a song because it's good that people are recognising just how much effort he's put in to get fit. Do you know what I mean? And again, you look at it from a Craig Halkett perspective, but I look at it from a Derek McInnes perspective. You know, and Rangers will be looking for this type of bounce, and Celtic if they get a new manager, and Hibs. When you have a new manager come into the club, you want the players to go, shit, I need to do stuff here if I want to be part of this guy's plans. Like, you want to try and impress your manager, and I can guarantee you that was a huge factor in Craig Halkett being like, if I want to play football, I have to get fit, because I won't play for Derek McInnes being 5 kilos heavier than I am right now. And now he's reaping the rewards of it, because he looks colossus at the back. The fact that Frankie Kent is back and fit, isn't he? Just no even making squads, or is he still carrying a state mark?
I think he's only just returned back to running and training, so I think it'll be at least the next international break before he's back. But I don't know how he fits in. And he's out of contract at the end of the season.
But then that's like the easiest thing in football. You know, you sit on the bench and you watch a team win 3-0 away from home. You sometimes just have to sit there and be like, well, there's nothing I can do, because there's no one in the back three that will be taken out. Not unless there's an injury. I know that Halkett went off, but that was purely precautionary. I think he just felt his back a wee bit on that plastic pitch, which is an absolute fucking shit. I hate that pitch so bad. There's so many times yesterday that I seen Shanklin scream at it as well, because the ball was pinged into him. He took a touch, but the ball's spinning and then bounced and went like, he took a touch, a normal touch, and then it bounced with spin up and then ended up like at his chest. And it's like, fucking hell, man. It's just so difficult to deal with the second touch and controlling.
Last season on that pitch, though, isn't it? They have to get rid of it season.
Yeah, I think so, because they were. Did you know here, Kev, before the game they were doing saying that you could donate money to help pay for the grass pitch.
The absolute opposite of Tynecastle as well. They're paying folk to be grassies as well, which is mad.
Yeah, that was good for you, Tim.
Thanks.
For anybody that never understood it because it was incoherent, he was making a reference to the fact that in Tynecastle you're encouraged to grass on people. So
thanks.
Good, well done, we've had 4 pounds of tenants, so that's where we're at. Was there any? Again, I'm my favourite thing about everything is I go to Hearts games. I don't even know who's playing until I get there. I don't care. I didn't care what the start.
You don't know who's playing. I know you don't know who's scoring.
I don't know. I'm just loving it. I'm just loving it. But the fact that, and again, I don't want to keep it going back to Derek McInnes is the greatest manager ever. But when you look at managers that are struggling in our league, managers that are, and even ourselves, we had it with Robbie Nielsen, we had it with Stephen Naismith, we had it with Neil Critchley. This idea that the modern team has to be changed week on week, wee tweaks here or there, we notice something with the opposition, let's change it. And the fact that Derek McInnes is that you've won the right to start, and you will continue to start until you lose that right to start. It's so refreshing. It keeps everybody on their toes. And we've made this comparison before. We were watching last year. If you're right back and you're on the bench and the right back that's playing in your position goes down injured, and you watch your manager bring a left back on to move a left back to right back, you're sitting there going like, I'm not even second choice here. What is the point? What is the point in this? You know what I mean? Like, they'll play people out of position rather than me playing my natural position. It kills the morale of the team. There's nothing to fight for, because it doesn't even matter if I'm any good in training, because someone could get put in that position rather than me. Everybody's fighting for their place. Everybody knows their place. And going into games where, what's that, 4 run of bounce now, we've not conceded a goal.
Yep.
And these things matter. These things add up. It's not a coincidence that we look absolutely solid as a unit, and we look like we can score for fun as and when we want to. That's the big thing yesterday, Kev, was that even though we started sloppy, you just always feel like we're going to create chances. You just always feel like something will click. We will get a chance.
I think one thing that it showed yesterday was that the chances that did come our way weren't landed to the person you wanted them to land to in that position. And I referenced right at the end of the first half, Braga's done brilliantly, robbed the boy of the ball on the touchline, and he's pulled it back to the one player that you don't want him to pull it back to, in all honesty.
There's two players that one.
Well, I was going to say the other one just couldn't actually get up the pitch quick enough to actually get there anyway. But Yeah, you're exactly right. From the first goal or from the goal going in, I did not see anything other than 3 points. And
Even if they did take a chance or score, I fully expect this side to be able to do something. They will create something at some point. And it's just about the onus of taking your chance. The Cammy Devlin one, I think the pass is slightly behind him. I actually think he probably had enough time to take a touch, if I'm being completely honest with you. But Cammy Devlin was superb yesterday. Cammy Devlin was unreal.
he got booked. He got booked for what I didn't believe it was even a foul.
No, I don't think it was a
I
foul.
think it's one of those situations because of that surface.
Yep.
You in normal grass, you would actually maybe slide there. Your foot would move, but with that, it just sticks. And I think that's all that was yesterday. And he got booked for it, which was ridiculous. But I can't remember who it was, but somebody got booked for the same thing in the second half. And it felt like he was just weighing, just effectively balancing the books on that one.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, Corbett, you asked about the centre midfield and who you would keep on contract. But like me and you said, Cammy Devlin. But at the end of the day, I think he is like the spine of the team at the moment. And under Dell, he's a different player. He's like proper. I don't even know how to describe it, but he's like Kante in a way. He's like just tremendous.
Yes, but I don't think Derek McInnes will accept the fact that there are no goals from there. You look at the back line, they all score. You look at the wingers, they all score. You look at the strikers, they all score. The only people who do not score are the two central midfielders. And the thing is, they don't even attempt to score. Cammy Devlin a bit more ambitious yesterday. The shot in the first half before that sitter. And then obviously his chance right at the end of the first half, which would have been any type of goal that would have summed up. If you're an opposition fan saying, what's Claudio Braga like? That's the clip. That's the clip of, other than him scoring goals, that if you want to know what he does, that's what he does. That ball was no there to be won. Like, it was going out. He never stopped. He chased him down and cuts it back. That's everything. The selfish running that he does, the constantly putting defenders in situations they don't want to be in. But I thought Cammy Devlin was absolutely superb, and I thought Benny was out of the two was probably, well, I just think it was Devlin was miles better. Not that Benny was bad, but I think that we need someone in midfield that carries a goal for it, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most with Aju is where could he potentially fit in there? What could they bring to us in terms of having a midfielder that can score goals? Like, the one thing right now, you watch teams, they're happy for Benny and Devlin to have the ball 20, 30 yards from goal. And we've seen it in flashes with Neuenhoff, that when you have your busy front three, and if they're playing a 4 or a 3 at the back or whatever, they'll occupy those people there. But they won't drop people in, so they won't lose a number in the midfield to sit because they've no threat from Devlin or Benny to shoot. Whereas if you've got a Neuenhoff in there that was scoring and shooting from there, they always have to be mindful of, actually, we have to sit because second balls falling to 25, 30 yards out. As you picks them up, it can drive forward and can score. I'm looking forward to that dynamic because I feel that probably Benny will be the one that drops out. But Benny's been phenomenal in that too as well. I thought Benny was decent yesterday.
Somebody upset Ando on YouTube, and he's just disappeared.
I don't know what he's doing. Like, we'll continue on. We'll continue on.
No, but I do agree with you, Corbett. Though I think, as much as our midfield too has been tremendous, if you've got Aju, who even Derek McInnes is going on about how good he is, for him to come in next, it's a level up again. Like, and it's really exciting.
Going back to what you said earlier on, then, do you offer Benny and Devlin a contract extension? Given what you've just said,
I don't think Benny wants to be here longer. Not that he hates it, but I think Benny will look to go take his and try somewhere else. It's just my opinion. Devlin probably the most likely to be offered the deal and potentially stay.
The fact that Devlin got given the captain's armband after Shankly went off yesterday, that says a lot.
Halkett was off though.
I don't think he was given the captain's armband. It was just there was nobody else close by, so he just put it on. The only one that was probably there would be Kingsley.
But at the same time, though, Kev, you see it with Tony Bloom's Brighton team. Like, there's a spine in that team that know the club. They know the league, and Devlin's that type of player. He gets it and he wants to be there. I'd take Devlin for the next year. 100%. I get exactly
where you're coming from. But if we go back to what we've said already on a number of occasions, the Jamestown Analytics is proven to bring a number of these kind of players along. So what I'm saying is, there's no reason why we can't go out and get a Cammy Devlin from an attitude point of view, but it can score goals.
Yeah.
Well, I think
put it this way: Brighton are playing 34-year-old fucking Danny Welbeck yesterday, and he's scoring goals. Like it doesn't really change matters. There's that.
No, sure. I think you've got the whole sole purpose of the way that Jamestown's work is to sell and to get maximum money and value for your money. If Cammy Devlin can get into the World Cup squad, he'll have played at 2 World Cups. You know, that adds dollars onto any price tag for any player. So, and look, I don't think you'll find any Hearts fan that would be upset if either of the two of them signed contract extensions. I just think from listening to Derek McInnes and knowing the way that Derek McInnes wants to play and type of players that he's had before, he will want goals from midfield. You know, imagine we had a midfielder that was on 4 or 5, 6 goals already for the season. What's Halkett on 4 goals for the season? Finlay on 3
roughly the same, man.
Yeah, 3 or 4. McEntee scored. Milne's got 2. Kazaridis has scored. You know, like everybody in the team has scored except for the midfield. And I think that Derek McInnes will look to that. But that. Let's go back to the original point. Cammy Devlin was fucking sensational yesterday. He was superb.
Yeah, amazing. Like
covered every blade of plastic.
Every blade of plastic. Yep.
Right. Can we talk about the goalkeeper? Because he set a club record for 4 clean sheets in a row. But I have no idea if he's any good. Genuinely.
I was going to ask you a question. Is he any good? Because absolutely no idea.
I have no idea.
Only one shot. Pardon me. One stop to make, as far as I could see yesterday when he pushed it wide round his own right-hand post. But
to be fair, he made an unbelievable save for Bruce Anderson for the offside thing. He tipped it onto the bar in the first half, but he was offside, and Bruce Anderson just smashed it. But he made an unreal save.
Again, the last 2 seasons we've talked Xander Clark, Craig Gordon, whatever, but Alexander Shvolov comes in and we're like, just do what you do, man.
Honestly, Kev, even at the game, I have no idea if he's any good.
No. There was no at no point really was he ever put under any real pressure. Yes, as you rightly say, he did touch that one onto the crossbar. He had a shot that he effectively played up to the cameras, and then I think they had a header in the second half, but it took a deflect. It was like we cleared it off the boy's forehead, and it just went straight into his arms. So there's nothing at this moment in time to say whether he's good or bad, but you still think he's a little bit psycho.
But I like it though. I like that he's mental. Like, I genuinely enjoy the fact that he's crazy. There was a point yesterday where he just, for no reason whatsoever, threw the ball at play. Like, he had one of those keeper throws, like he throwed it 70 yards, but just clean out of play. And I was like, who are you throwing that to? There's no one there. He's bananas, but it's fun. And I can't make up my mind if the defence looks so comfortable, and I don't know if that's because they've been playing continuous games together, or if they now have a keeper that they know can control the ball, can kick the ball, is comfortable with the ball at his feet, will come for crosses, for example. He'll come and punch. He'll come and catch. I don't know if that settles the nerves. Where we all adore Craig Gordon, and we all rate and love Xander Clark for what he does. But again, we could point Craig Gordon's distribution, howling, never comes for crosses, shot stopper, the best there's been. Sander Clark, very, very capable goalkeeper. But it's no coincidence that the team clearly see something in this guy that they're comfortable knowing that he's there. I just can't make up my mind if he's any good or not.
I think this time next week we'll have maybe a better idea. I suspect that there'll be a little bit more pressure put on him, but there's been nothing as yet, like you've just said, that has put you really any sort of worry. There was that incident at Ibrox where he looked a little bit soft to try to get the cross, but he had already been fouled at that point anyway. But all in all, it's a nice position to be in. Let's be honest.
Until he makes a Ricky Hunt of it, then trust in him.
If he gets to 5 clean sheets next week, I'll be all on board with he's the greatest keeper that's ever lived. Hall of Famer. Get Craig Gordon out. Get him in. I'll look at him before I get the Craig. Why was Craig Gordon's testimonial thing playing on the advertising board yesterday? Did you see that, Kev? What was that all about?
No.
It was the Craig Gordon testimonial quiz.
Aye,
rather than the game. I assume it's going to happen at some stage before the end of the year. I don't know. Probably check the Hearts website. It'll tell you.
Aye, but why was it being advertised at Kilmarnock's home ground?
Because we've paid for it to be advertised there. That's how it works.
It's absolutely crazy. I was
Can
like,
can I ask the question? Are we getting a team in? And Corbett, are you going to lead us to glory? Is that what's going to happen?
for what?
No, Corbett is a one-man team. The rest of us can go as potentially a team. There's no point going in a team with Corbett.
I'm
you won't even have. You won't even be able to answer.
I'm not stepping anywhere near Tynecastle in the background until we win the league, and I'm going to kick the doors off the hinges and say, "I fucking told you so." I told you so. They'll be sitting there. The swear jar will be empty. They'll be sitting in the dining room or the Sky Lounge eating sticky toffee pudding, and I'll karate kick the door off its hinges and say, "Anne, fill that fucking swear jar up because we're having a conversation."
Have a speaker on repeat, just being like, "It's and fucking budge."
Mind you've got bad knees, mate. Then I kick any doors off hinges.
That's true, mate. That's true. I might pace one of my fans to do it for me. With Kev and he's stroking the furry walk. Kev,
What's going on here?
What's going on? Why are you stroking the walk, Kev?
Just putting the air conditioner on, mate.
Oh wow!
And also, it was nice to see. Why have you got Craig Halkett's arse for last year?
Somebody had to pick it up.
Yeah, I suppose it was going spare, wasn't it? To get it off Facebook Marketplace. Well, let's talk about Claudio Braga because his goals were absolutely phenomenal. Can I moan for a second? Anybody that sued, please just leave. We don't need you at the football club. I've removed. I've been on that grass line all day. I've been pausing the limbs and being like, right, who did it? Section 6, row 43. Get him out.
Right. You two were there. Like, how many of the 4,000 done it? About half at least.
It was disturbing.
It's the fact that you've got actual adults doing it. I get it with the kids, right? That's fine, not a problem. But grown men doing exactly that. Get that fuck.
Aye, it was unacceptable. It ruined a beautiful moment.
No, man. Face into it. Come on. Okay. Like, it's one of the things. If come the end of the season, and that is, like, even in your top 5 of things that fucks you off, I'm quite happy for that to be the case. Just face into it, man.
Mate, I can't watch the Craig Beattie taking his top off. I can't watch it, mate. Who has that? Whose shoulders are that hairy? Like, get that fixed. What you doing?
Mate, check your inbox. I'll send you some photos. I'll send you some pictures. It's fine.
I'll send you the opposite, Corbett, because I've got no hair, so it's fine.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's the way it's meant to be. It's no fucking 1978. You had the body of a fucking PE teacher. It was outrageous.
I don't know if you heard Halkett on the Premier Sports podcast thing the other week there, but he was saying that Braga's been fined loads within it, and I think the Sui stuff is probably a lot to do with it. But fair play to the boy, man. He's lovable, and I love it.
And the other things that, like, every football team on planet Earth will have some form of fines system. It's like a UK culture thing for football. But Derek McInnes is quite famous for how interactive and engaging the fine system is. It's obviously something that the boys laugh about, you know, and I like the fact that they're digging him out for sharing highlights of his goals and all that type of stuff like that. That's good. It keeps him kind of grounded, but keeps it fun and motivating him to go do it more, if you know what I mean. But everything about Braga, we all love. And I think Joe Skidnat made a good point yesterday in the Heart Standard thing about that they all are having peaks and troughs at different times, you know. So Shankland won September Player of the Month or whatever it is. He scored important goals. He was really good. And then Kazarides scores a world day. He's making the headlines. And now Braga's scoring again. Like they like picking up each other's slack if one's having a bad game or whatever it is. And but you do reflect. You can't help but look back to last year and watch Shankland try to do it all by himself. And looking at the fact that what we've just spoken about there, you know, Danda, no scoring, Spittle, barely scoring, Alan Forrest, no scoring, Barry Mackay, not getting a game. Like all the players that were there that just weren't the impact in anything, and Shankland up there by himself trying to do everything. Now the fact that there's goals all over the place is class, and the fact that Braga, they're the type of finishes that he'll do all season long. You know, those little instinctive, don't think about it too much, finish it stuff. The bits where he's got a bit of time, it's probably where you'll see him struggle, if you know what I mean. You know that. Even when you watch them warm up in it, Shankland strikes the ball differently from every other striker. He just strikes the ball clean all the time. And Braga's just one of those things, just you're going to get instinctive finishes from him, which will be class. Even like Kevin, the first half, I don't know if you can remember, he had a header. It was very similar to the header chance that he scored against Sunderland. Cross from the right hand side, and he sort of glanced it down, but it went about 10 feet wide or whatever. But they're like the wee chances that Shankland's deadly with.
Yeah. I thought Shankland he also had a header yesterday as well that I think he himself was frustrated he didn't do better with. But the thing you've got to remember is that this is something we've not had for years, where you've got, you've said Shankland maybe not having the best game, but then you've got Braga coming in, scoring 2. Kazarides was unplayable for a lot of that game yesterday, especially in the second half. You know, that's exactly what you want from your players. But the opportunities are coming, as I say. Someone's going to get an absolute scalping, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that. Somebody will get an absolute scalping. And even then...
I am telling you now, if Hearts score early on Sunday, it's going to be carnage. Because they were flat as a pancake today, and then Dundee scored, and it never looked like anything was going to happen. They needed a penalty that was never a penalty. Like they were the wee things that might have changed the game for them. But we've just got to, like, if we start like Aberdeen, now that we're a wee bit more sharper or whatever, and can try and take a chance, like I genuinely think that if we score early, they will absolutely fold on Sunday. But the thing I liked as well, Kev, that boy, the pure hunting and packed stuff, like Braga and Kazarides were there to win that ball back off the guy. And the thing about, Will talked about how good Kazarides is as well. That's like a 50-50 there, and he's got the thing where he'd be like, I'm dinking it. Like, I'm not going to just smash in. Like, if you remember the build-up to that goal was, we were on the break, and we just randomly, they stopped the game because of the collision or whatever it was, and it was a drop ball that they restarted the game with. Right. And it should have been our drop ball, but they gave it to Kilmarnock to put it back to the keeper. So there was like that. Obviously, we were annoyed that that's what happened and it took the momentum out where we were. But that desire to go get it, and that there, you got 50-50. The crowd are annoyed that you didn't just get it. Some folk would have just went sliding into that and been like, I'll get a bit of a cheer here because, when I throw in and but lay a marker down on the guy or whatever. Their instinct was, we've got a chance here. Like, I'm going to dink it. And he just dinks it over him. And then obviously it's the two of them are right there to get the ball. And then Braga drives forward. Nice pass into Kizaridis. He's so right-footed that it's insane. But again, Braga doing what all good strikers should, follows the ball in. It's not his fault that the keeper makes an absolute mess of it. And the keeper should be palming the ball into that part of the pitch. But the other thing is about having the front three. The keeper either he's got like very little options as what he does with that shot, because if he does the theatric one and hits it that way, Shanklin's at the back post. Shanklin's coming in. So if he hits it back where it comes from, Kizaridis is there for a tap in. He hits it in the middle. Braga's there for a tap in. So he's got that. That's the importance about, like, I hate getting all wanky with like entries into the box, but when you look at how many players' numbers we get into the box, that's so important, and it just sums up what's so good about Braga and Kizaridis, that goal, the first one.
Yeah, it's exactly that. What I would actually encourage everybody to do is go and watch that goal again and ask yourself the question, why is Tam playing for Killie? I don't know if anybody noticed this. There's a lad playing for Killie who's chasing Braga down. He's getting nowhere near him. Looks exactly like you, Tam.
Should have been the mascot.
Was he drinking Was he drinking a pint and farting or something?
No, he's just got shite hair. That's what
No, genuinely, I went, why the fucking hell was Tam playing for Killie yesterday? But,
you look like the wee Italian boy you get on pizza boxes, Tam. Tam
gets 2p per box.
A wee checkered penny thing. That's what you look like.
Thanks, man. Seriously, I don't know what else to say to that. Thanks. So I done shite for Killie yesterday, and I'm on a pizza box. Thanks, man.
That's how you're paying your mortgage, mate. That's how you pay your mortgage.
But no, I'm pretty sure you've got a show on BBC Two about doing a touring camper thing as well, haven't you? Susan Calman.
I would encourage everybody to look at that, because that's a belter. That is very true.
But no, you're right. The interlinking that both Kizaridis and Braga and that relationship that they've built over the last, well, probably what you're now looking at 2-3 months, is a massive reason for the amount of success that we're actually having on the park. The two of them link up really well, as you rightly say. The layoff to Kizaridis to put it right on his right foot doesn't have to break stride, and like every striker should do, Braga's following that in, so that if the keeper does make a Ricky Hunt of it, which he does, it's straight back to him. The fact, as you rightly say, if the keeper does push it further out, Shanklin's there as well. He's got a knock on an empty net. The fact that everybody seems to be on the same wavelength, that goes down to a lot of the work that's been done Monday to Friday. And the coaches and everything else, they'll not get the credit that like they should do. But the work that they've been doing over the last, well, probably really over the last 4 or 5 months is huge, in my opinion, anyway.
And all that sort of 20-minute spell where we get the 2 goals in the second half, that was probably the most complete sort of away performance that I've seen for Hearts for a long time. We were all over Kilmarnock. They could not handle what we were in.
Aye, exactly right. It's I was thinking about this earlier on, actually, which is when, like, if you look at, like, even good Hearts teams in years gone by, you would always fear going to places like that, just because you're you never really know how the opposition are going to set up, especially because we're flying so high just now. But like everything that they could throw at us, we absolutely dealt with from start to finish. It just looked effortless. And that just comes down again to the management team, as we've already spoken about, which is they're pretty much set up to handle everything. It's just fucking brilliant to see, really.
The opening 15 was sloppy, right? And I know that Derek McInnes has obviously played to the galleries with the fact that it was his first game back at Kilmarnock, and maybe didn't want to be too harsh on where it was. I don't think Kilmarnock were as good as what he kind of made out in the post-match interview, but it was very clear that we had a tactic in the opening 5, 10, 15 minutes to try and counter, suck them onto us, and then try and release Kessie or Brago over the top. And then, like any good team, grow into the game, so almost let them punch themselves out. Like, honestly, if you're looking at and try to figure out how that feels so familiar, that Kilmarnock performance, it's the type of shit that teams were doing to us last year under Critchley and Naismith. Let us have possession, let us punch ourselves out, barely create in it and then not score, and then grow into the game. And then once we grew into the game, we were absolutely phenomenal. Kilmarnock didn't have an answer for anything that we did. And I know people will say, it was Kilmarnock, blah, blah, blah. But Kilmarnock was sitting third. I think they only lost one game this season, and it was a 96-minute penalty that never was against Celtic. And we went there and absolutely battered them. They were shell-shocked. They could not get anywhere near us, especially the second half. We seemed to just find a gear that they didn't think that we had. And that tells a story for where we're at in terms of the quality that we have. Players and teams that we're playing against now will all be sitting thinking, either they'll not be as good as what they're making out, or we think they've got a weakness, blah, blah, blah. It's like I said, Kizzaridis' weakness is that he won't go on his left foot. Try and make him not come on his right foot is harder than it sounds. You think, God, just didn't let him come out and onto his right foot. Sound, try stop him, because it's not as easy as what it is. And I think that was yesterday. We just caught Kilmarnock cold. They just couldn't handle how good we were. Kev or Tam or anybody, it's not even a negative, but if we were to pick and be nitpicky or whatever, is that the right-hand side is just no right. I thought McEntee probably had his worst game yesterday. It just didn't seem to work for him yesterday. A couple of touches that were not very good, a couple of passes astray. And I don't think Borchgrevink is the answer given the physicality of Kilmarnock or whatever, but that right hand side has to be a bit of a priority for me.
I think you're right. I'm going to give McEntee the benefit of the doubt, because that surface, as we've already spoken about on numerous occasions, is not great. And he's played in it right back. Game against Rangers, the game against Hibs. He's played well in that position. I don't think that's his natural position, but from the point of view of how he's playing and the fact that you don't want to change the starting 11, we're 3 games in, not making any changes. I think that you're going to have to look at Chesnikov coming in January. You need somebody who is a proper right back, who will get up and down that right hand side. Yeah, Borchgrevink could be that guy, but again, we've not seen enough of him because he's been consistently injured. He was injured when he was still with his club in Norway, came to us, then got injured. So we've not really had the chance to actually see what he's actually like as a player. Again, maybe like Halkett, we need to see him, get his fitness up, play 6, 7, 8 games before we can actually really make a real decision on what he's going to be like down that right-hand side. But him with, Chechnikov or whoever it might be, that's the one thing you need to try and get the right-hand side balanced like you've currently got the left-hand side. And Milne, for all that he's working fine there, he's not the answer neither.
Yeah, I'd agree on the Milne situation, but at the same time, how good has Kingsley done since he came back in? I didn't even think Kingsley was a left back at this point in time. I thought he was more a centre back, and see, since he's came in at left back, he's been brilliant. But Milne's never a right mid, and could you put Kurjota straight into there? I don't know, but at the same time, as you say, Kev, he's not the answer in there. Eh?
No.
Oh, I'm not convinced that he is. I think Kingsley's playing left centre half. Like, I think we play three at the back. I think we play 3-4-3. I think that's how we're set up to play. There are points where we'll probably fall into a four.
It's such a fluid. It's a
Yeah.
fluid formation, though. You're right. It's like we keep talking about the free in attack, but we're no realistically set up as free in the attack. But it is that way. You're right.
But and again, it's just options for where it is. That's no me saying. We're talking about McEntee was maybe a 7 out of 10 yesterday, and there's been games where he's been an 8, 9. Just didn't have his best game. But again, the caveat to all of that is that surface is horrendous. Like it's bogging, and he was up against fucking LeBron James or whatever it is. It was 19 foot tall. It was like, what the hell we did? Right, have we got any YouTube comments? Anything?
A couple of questions. So, Gordon Aitken, who gets the first transfer inquiry, Braga or Kizzy?
Both.
Well, let's wait a second. Check the fixtures. When do we play Rangers?
20th of December, I think it is.
All right, so it won't be that way. When we need the transfer window open.
We play Celtic on the 26th of January.
Right,
so there you go.
I know none of you are very much Twitter users these days, but I've seen a few tweets being like, "Why don't we just go sign Braga already?" For Rangers fans. So,
Aye. But that's the thing that genuinely is different this time, because we won't sell those players to them.
Yep.
We just won't do it. And the money that we'd be looking for those players, they won't reinvest into Scottish football. You know what I mean? So they won't play 8, 6, 7, 8 million pounds for a Braga. They won't do it because they won't want us to get 6, 7 or 8 million pounds back in Scottish football. And we won't take fag packet IOUs for Rangers. So that's why they kind of get a manager. You know, Stephen Gerrard's like, I've got a £12 million tax bill, pay it and I'll come be a manager. And they're like, do you want it on the back of this pizza box with Tam's face on it? It's not going to happen.
But they'll pay $8 million for Chimiti, who is unheard of and never scored a goal in his life.
Yeah, it's very true.
Another question for Gordon. Was the pitch the reason we got Forrest and Spittle instead of Kurjota and Kabore?
Gordon Aitken, hang on. He's a good guy, Gordon. Yes, that is. I think that's exactly what it is. Why would you risk anybody on that pitch that isn't needed to be risked? The only one I would say was Kabore would be my one potentially instead of Elton, but I understood at that moment in time what we were in. You know, Elton comes on because we can literally just punt it over the top and he'll happily chase the ball down. You know, he had an opportunity yesterday actually that sums up everything about Elton right now. You know, his first touch took him miles away from the goal when he was literally near enough clean through on the keeper. But yeah, I think it was a pitch. I wouldn't. You know, you're 3-0 up. You're coasting. It's a horrible pitch. I think it was sensible not to risk him. Spittle and Forrest played in that pitch before. They know what Kilmarnock are. Yeah, that's probably where I'm at with that.
Says a lot about the like the side at the moment and the squad that we've got, though, that Elton's done really well as he's came on the last few weeks. So I know Kabore went away for an international duty and scored a hat-trick, but Elton is probably our third choice at the moment, regardless. Is that right?
I think Elton, like Alan Forrest or whoever, are serving a purpose. I don't think that they're long time. Exactly what it is. They're a stopgap. People that have, you know, there's a bit of protecting folk as well. You know, we don't want to just throw everybody in. Kabore's came in, played in the position that he said is his favourite position. You know, we didn't put him out wide left or whatever. He said that that's his favoured position, and he was honking in both the games, and we haven't seen him since. And right now, all the players will just be drip fed in to get minutes, to get and serve a purpose. So yeah, we're fine with that.
Okay. Got another couple of questions. One from Lynn AOK, who's asked a good one, but I'm going to go to HMFC Bry Edinburgh, who has asked, Ando's building up the courage to ask Corbett for a bag of. And this maybe says more about me than him, but sorry, HMFC Bry Edinburgh, it's a school night. I'm not asking Corbett for a bag of anything. But straight on to Lenny. Okay, who gets dropped when Aju is fit?
Benny.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep.
I just on nothing because I don't think Benny's any good. Yeah, exactly. Not because I don't think Benny's no good or whatever. I just think that the balance between what we need and what we have, I think that Devlin's been too good to take out the team right now. It might not work. We might need Benny in there to win Aju the ball and give him it. Who knows? But
the other
right
way,
now, as it stands, I think
Cammy's up there with best players of the season already for me. Like, genuinely.
How many tins of tenants have you had?
Aye, too many.
I think no, like in terms of, do you not think? Like, no. You've obviously got
no assists, no goals.
He runs about, mate.
And
that's
I
what
love him
does.
for it.
Right? He's correct. He does exactly what you want. I would caveat with, I wouldn't be surprised to see McEntee drop out and then still keep with Benny and Devlin in the middle and gives Aju the opportunity to get the ball.
Right back. What?
No, you go with a back three. We've been playing with a back three most of the season. Your back three, Halkett, Kingsley, and Finlay, your back three. I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
The bit I'm loving about all this is Gordon Aitken, who we've lashed up a couple of questions from already. Given his interactions, has made himself like the number 3 contributor in this chat so far tonight, and he's at very real risk of displacing you for this podcast, Tam. We chat like that. So, well done, Gordon. I think we agree with you when we say Benny gets dropped when.
Who's number 1 though? That's the more important thing.
I don't know. I can't be asked scrolling back up to find out who that is. But no, just warning you. That's all.
That's
right. Let's go.
But yeah, no other questions on YouTube so far. Lots of chat backwards and forwards. Lots of opinions offered, but more aligning less with what we're speaking about already.
Can I confirm, Ando? Did you give the answers to your question earlier? Or
I did. I've given YouTube the full answers to the questions.
What about the audio listeners? Could we get a confirmation of that?
Yeah, go on in. Let's have the 6.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Right, so what did we get? Let me have a pop. Right. So we had. Oh, you've told us anyway. Sorry, you tell us. Braga, Lafferty, So, Zfook.
So let's just for anyone that's fast forwarded right to the end of the pod, just in case they missed the question. But the question is: Claudio Braga has scored 8 goals in 13 games. There are 6 Hearts players that have done it faster than him. Who are they? And this is in the modern era. A few shouts for Kyle Lafferty. No, he's sadly done it in the same as Claudio Braga. He done it in 13 matches. But going from top down, you got Gennaro Zfook, who done it in 7, De Vries in 8, Derek O'Connor in 10, and I'm considering him part of the modern era based on my age. Tam, go and check out London Hearts to find out who Derek O'Connor actually is. Cool. Then you've got Elton Kabangu in 11, Rudy Scaccio in 11, Osman So in 12, and that is your 6 above. So there you go.
Here we go. Magic. Right, Celtic. So what's our thoughts? We're just in predictions, or are you want to make any bold?
I'll make a bold statement.
I don't want to talk about it, to be honest.
Not even a statement, but just a fact that if we beat or go unbeaten against Celtic, excuse me, if we go unbeaten or win against Celtic next week, that'll be 18 games unbeaten. That'll be the first time we've done that since January 1986,
So that's that.
which is quite a record.
We had that. We had the same thing when we went to St Mirren, didn't it? We were on the verge of a club record or something like that when we get knocked out the cup by St Mirren.
We'll be fine, man. We'll be fine.
Well, we can
You're
only
going
go
on,
on with what we've seen today, and I watched the full 90 minutes of the Celtic game today, and yeah, they still get really, really good players. They've got a good manager, got a good squad, but there was so much today where I was watching thinking, if we just get at them, play to our strengths, there was no reason why we should be fearing playing against that Celtic team. They will go up a notch, and that's the thing that I'm really looking forward to with Del McInnes, is the fact that he will understand that Celtic will raise their game. This is a big game for them. The noise around us, the noise around them, but coming to Tynecastle is a game that they always have. They always have on their radar is they want to go and play. What I'm hoping for is that Hearts prepare for, or the club do something about the protests. I said to my Celtic mates today to be like, you come out the changing room, you do your huddle, you do all your gimpy stuff like that, get yourself G'd up for it, and then spend 5 minutes clearing balls off the pitch. I can't help but that sucks the life out of the team. So I'm hoping that Hearts have something to try and negate that, so that it doesn't stop the game for any length of time. But look, if we want to do anything, now's the time. We said that. How many times have we talked about this? Rangers have literally went bust, died, came back, went to the Vida League bottom, all the way back up. Have won every cup available, been to a European Cup final, whilst we, Aberdeen and Hibs, have scratched their arse and laughed at the fact that we've won a few derbies here or there. Whilst this is the option. You've got to strike when the iron's hot. They are a mess. Rangers are an absolute mess right now. As it stands right now, they don't have a manager. Doesn't look like they know who their manager is going to be. They obviously have problems in the background if people don't want to work with certain people. And Celtic are imploding. Celtic done this when Rangers won stop 10 in a row. They started losing games, and then as soon as the fans start protesting against the board, it distracts everything from the fact that their manager isn't actually getting in out of their players. So now's the time for me. Like, if we want to go make a statement, not what we've done isn't. I don't think in any way, shape, or form it derails our season if we lose on Sunday. Celtic will beat every team in the league, but I think it's a massive statement of intent. It's an opportunity. What's the worst? The worst that can happen if we go out and absolutely go at them. I think that I think they'll come.
You know what I'm absolutely delighted about is the fact that no one on this podcast, and I was getting ready to throw you off if you did say it, was use the words free hit.
Yeah. There's no such thing.
No.
Not in this context.
Yeah. Absolutely no chance.
Oh, well.
Right, I'll go for my predictions then. This week's a free hit against Celtic. Doesn't matter the result. We'll be 2 points ahead regardless. Nah.
I'm trying to figure out how to mute him. But there's a good question. Would Kajota be better up against Tierney, or would you stick with Milne? Fair question.
No, Kajota's not done enough in any of the games to warrant taking Milne out, who has probably the most assists in the team, I think.
Especially
so far,
from
I think he got an assist on Saturday, didn't he?
It was his corner for Falcon.
Yep.
It's a fair question. Like, Tierney looks horrendous. He's had a shocker. Anthony Ralston is fucking awful. I have no idea how he gets a game for Celtic, let alone how he represents the national team. Carter Vickers is the same height as Tam, and Liam Scales shouldn't play professional football. Like,
just as good as Tam.
So
it's bad. The drop off of Carter Vickers is mental, though. Genuinely, like,
he's an American. They can't play football. It's not fucking. It's not. It's just he's got a bit of pressure up against him.
Exactly. He's getting found out now.
But yeah, I think right. Let's do our predictions. Kev, predictions for Sunday.
I do think I think there will be a lot of hoo-ha in the paper this week. There'll be comments about massive. There'll be loads of chat
You're
about
banned.
how bad Celtic were today. Yes, the various off the field antics from their fans and against the board, etc., etc. And I would like to think that we go under the radar this week because of what's happening between the two Glasgow clubs. It won't happen. There will be, of course, come the end of the week, no doubt. That Celtic have already agreed a deal for Casaridis. Braga, they're just waiting for him to confirm that he's also going to sign in January. So they expect those particular comments from the newspapers this week. But I do still think it'll be a tough game on Sunday.
Kev, just say the result, man. Come on.
Nah, I didn't want to, mate. I genuinely think I'll take a 2-2 now.
Okay. Someone going to say who? Ha, fuck that. Oh, no, move on. Right, Tam, give your prediction.
Fuck it, I'll say it.
And please don't tell me your life story. I don't care. Just tell me your prediction.
I think it will be a draw and it'll be 1-1. Thank you.
Ando.
Hearts by the odd goal. 1-0 because we're not losing a goal because they're pathetic. Hearts 1, Celtic 0.
Okay. I'll go Desmond 2-2.
Of course.
Of course. Well done, Corbett.
Cheers, thank you. It will be 4-0 Hearts, but for this game, it's a Desmond. It's a Desmond. Right. Anything else on YouTube before we finish?
Quite a lot. One from the YouTube Disciple, which might mean particular relevance to you, which is Gatoy Rock Bar Lone Path Yabas. I take it as a private joke. You know what that means, but the rest of it just talking about how woeful Celtic are, and hoping for a good victory.
Nice. Right. Well, we'll be live again next Sunday. Unless we get absolutely battered, then I'll see you when we win again, because I don't want to come out in tears and snort. Kidding. We'll go live to YouTube next Sunday. Thanks for contributing. I appreciate it. And here's hoping for another 3 points. Hey, boys.
Here we go.
See you all soon.
See you there.
Cheers.
It's later.
Gorgeous.